Camera rolling. And we got K.Smith in the building.
Rooks, what's up, dog?
How you doing? Welcome to Wild Moguls Perspective.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's what's up, man. I'm
You,
here.
that part.
Yes, sir.
It's a
Thanks for
long,
having me, dog.
it was a long time coming.
No, for sure.
So now we gonna first start off. You the real Fresh Prince,
Absolutely.
and Will Smith basically he calls you the real Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What part of the life is actually made up, and what's real?
It's made up. None of it is really made up. But I'm definitely. I have the same story as my uncle had in the Fresh Prince. So he turns to like an Uncle Phil type of father figure for me. I'm from Philly. My had to move out to LA with my rich uncle and who is Will Smith and you know due to the way things was going in my household in Philly and just somewhat of a black sheep outcast somewhat in that family household, but uh yeah, so this the story is definitely the same. It wasn't made about my life. It's just that my life kind of turned out to be the exact same story. So the new show Bel Air is like even more spot on
Okay.
what my life is. So yeah.
So, all right. So now, explain the family structure. Like how many siblings does Will have, and how you fit in
Yeah.
there? Like,
So it's four of them. My uncle Will, my mom is the oldest,
okay,
and it's my uncle Will, my aunt Ellen, and my uncle Harry. They twins. So it goes my mom, then Big Willie, and then my uncle Harry, Aunt Ellen. They twins. My mom had me first, so I'm the first grandson, first nephew, and grandbaby of all of us. So yeah, that's how I fall into play. My mom is Pam Smith. Uh, yeah.
and now would you say the earliest that the world can like remember you and notice you? You was the baby in the summertime video.
Yeah, I was a baby in summertime video. My uncle holding me in his arms. I'm popping bubbles. I'm standing up, kissing a little girl. I'm down there 1 years old. But it's crazy. The first when I was born, my mom said I left the hospital, and when we left the hospital, we went straight to the video shoot. My first day out of the hospital was my Uncle Will's video for I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson, him and Jazzy Jeff. So yeah, but
Oh wow! And you're in that video too?
I don't think I'm not in the video, no, because I had just left the hospital, but I went straight there. You know what I'm saying? Leaving the hospital. So all I has to say is literally the day I left the hospital, I've been on music sets and movie sets and video shoots and things of that sort. So yeah, I've been in that lifestyle a long time in my life. But I would say probably the first video I was in was Summertime, and I got some good cameo looks in that, and I carried it right.
Now, you were adopted by Will too. Is that true?
No,
Okay,
no,
that's a
I
rumor.
know. Yeah, I guess that's a rumor. I never was adopted, but my uncle, he like my father figure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know my real dad, but my uncle, took me in and raised me majority of my life, and yeah, like he is a, he ain't have to adopt me, but he's my uncle. I've lived with him. He raised me, my, all my little cousins, and yeah, that's just what it is.
Okay, so and then I remember I seen pictures of you at the Wild Wild West
Yeah.
video
We
movie
used to,
premiere.
yeah, we used to do all of that. Like we was dressed up in the Wild Wild
Yeah,
West
yeah, you had
costume.
the cowboy
Back in
hat.
the day, we used to do that all the time. Like the Wild Wild West premiere, we was in the cow. I had the burgundy cowboy suit on. Y'all go look that up, or you could put some pictures up on the side or something. Rooks, I don't know,
Mm.
but what else? The Independence Day, we was all in the Independence Day gear. We had the Army fatigue, and then the Men in Black premiere. We was in our suits doing our thing. All of this is stuff you can go on the internet or YouTube or you know what I'm saying, Instagram, and you can find those pictures. And yeah, we used to do that a lot back in the day. That was the thing. Like Big Will used to have us all come through dressed up and representing the movie that that was coming out, and that was fun. Those was good days, man.
So, how was it like growing up in the Will Smith household? Was it pressure, privilege, or both?
Uh, Not really pressure. Um, Definitely privilege. Um, uh, I wouldn't say pressure, but you definitely, um, as you're getting older and there's people successful around you, it pushes you to want to be successful and reach success at a certain level. So, if anything, it's motivation more than anything, not pressure. It's fun. It was, unlimited opportunity, I'll say, and unlimited opportunity to gain knowledge and wisdom and growth, and the availability of other masters around can help you grow and become smarter and certain things. But overall, that's my uncle, and it just was, and that's my family, my aunt, and overall, it just was, for me. It really was just like, a kid that go away to his family house for the summer, just for an extended period of time. So it was all good for me, man. Overall,
So now, were you living? I felt like you was living like most of your life with Will, and then going back to Philly for like the summers.
no. So I was going to coming to LA from Philly for the summers and staying with my uncle for the whole summers
Uh-huh.
until I ended up moving to LA permanently. And when I first came to LA, I was with my uncle Harry, and
Okay.
just things didn't work out, and then I got sent away for like 3 or 4 years to like boarding schools and therapeutic boarding schools, and then I started getting in trouble into those programs, and it turned into boot camps and
Oh, so you
military
really
camps.
was a
And
trouble kid.
yeah, well, really, it's so crazy. When I came out to LA, the stuff that was going on in Philly, the environment is, what the environment is. But then, my mom was going through things as well during
Hmm.
that time, and my family just felt like it was best to get me out of that household in the city at the time. So when I moved out with my uncle Harry, it was a different energy because me and my uncle Harry never had that relationship. Like I said, I was coming to LA every summer and even throughout the years with my uncle and spending time with Big Willie and my cousin, me and Trey. It was always me and Trey everywhere we went.
Hmm.
So I was already accustomed to being with my uncle Will and Jada and living with them. So then I moved in with my uncle Harry, and then I went to Sierra Canyon
Oh
early, and
wow.
that's LeBron kids, and a lot of people go to Sierra Canyon now, but I,
Oh
I
wow.
went to Sierra Canyon early, me and my cousins and stuff like that, and I don't know if I got kicked out or what happened, but I do know that I lasted maybe a year. And then from there, I got sent away to boarding schools and all of that, and then I started getting into a lot of trouble because I felt like I felt like my family sent me away. So,
Uh-huh.
I felt like once they sent me away, I'm like, oh, y'all think I'm crazy or bad? Now I'm about to go crazy and do all that shit. And I started going up. But yeah, that took about 4 years out of my life, just traveling and being in boot camps and boarding schools and wilderness programs and shit like that. And then when I finally came out of those places, I moved in with Big Willie like permanently every
How old were
single
you
day.
at that age?
Um, I want to say like 15.
You was 15.
Probably when I moved in permanently with Big Willie.
Okay.
So yeah, probably permanently with Big Willie. And then from there is like, yeah, I'm in LA, but I'm going to visit Philly a lot just because Philly is where my mom and my little brother was there. He's in LA now, but all of my friends that I went to elementary school with and that you first start bonding with from a child on up, they were all still in Philly. And then even when I came to LA and went to, got sent away, my core friends, they kept in touch with me. So I always was in tune with the city and staying involved and in the mix with the city. And then, yeah, as I started getting older, I just kept going back home because that's just my comfort zone. And it's just like natural love there. It's not about necessarily what you got or who you are. If they in Philly, it's either they rock with you or not. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, I catch. I love my city, and
Now
that's just
what's
what it is.
now let's talk about the boarding school. Where was your boarding school at?
So it's crazy. I got sent away to a place out here in like I want to say San Bernardino or
Oh
something like
wow.
that. That's far up, right? San
Yeah.
Bernardino, and I really was only there like 2 weeks because I just went crazy. You know what I mean? I caused riots and all that shit. Immediately they came and got me. The state of California took over custody of me, and then they shipped me to Idaho or Utah.
Oh yeah, you went.
I want to say, I want to say, I want to say Idaho.
Uh,
They sent me to Idaho to a boot. I was in boot camp.
how long you was in boot camp for?
It's a 4 week program. I was there for 6. They kept me an extra 2 weeks, 6 weeks. um,
I'm
and then
sorry
they said,
for laughing, nigga.
and then no, it's all good. And then they said, yeah, you passed this, you gotta go to another place. You know what I'm saying? So then they sent me to I think it was Utah. Then they sent me to another place in Idaho, I want to say, and that was like a wilderness program. They drop you off in the desert, and you with these people.
So
And
now, was the boarding school and the boot camp, are these like other super rich like people? When you think of boarding
I
school,
want
you
to say the
only
first.
think,
I want to say the first spot was a super rich. Like I don't even want to say super
well,
rich,
like, but like big people
I
or
would
big
assume that it
families.
was quality level that my family was sending me a waiter and shit
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
But yeah, after that second week, like I said, the state of California took me over and they sent me to a boot camp. Once you on boot camps and shit like that, that's just like kids jail. You
All right.
understand what I'm
Well,
saying?
now I want the world to kind of understand because you know they may look at the like the street of you and your music and like your music videos. Um, I want to get into this, later, but just to touch on it, like, let's just talk about like your family's home in West Philly.
Okay.
It's been traditionally
Yeah.
like brought, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So yeah. Well, yeah. Our house kind of been passed down from different members in the family. I know my great grandmother, I want to say, lived on 54th Street and owned that house, and then my grandmother for a little bit, and then they gave it to my Uncle Will, and then my Uncle Will was living in that house for a little bit, and then my mom ended up living in that house, and that's where, I grew up and was raised, and
So
they and
now,
Big Willie ended up putting that house in my name. You know what I'm saying?
oh wow,
So I sold that house on 54th Street on the floor.
you sold it?
I sold it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, well, we're gonna get
I
back to
made a
that.
check off it. I made a nice check, at the time.
But
Um,
But you should have kept that. But that's another story. But what I wanted to say about that is, because I've been there with you.
yeah, yeah,
So people got to understand. Yeah, you grew up with Will. Yeah, you, you know, you lived in Beverly Hills, Calabasas, grew up in boarding schools in Sierra
facts,
Canyon.
facts.
But when you go back home with your family, they still they own the house,
Yeah,
and it's been in that house, and they love their community.
yeah. In our
But that is
community,
dead smack in the hood,
in the trenches.
in
Yeah,
the trenches,
yeah,
like real
literally. And you've
trenches.
been there, so
And
you
I've
can
been
you
there,
can
so
attest to it.
I can
And you've been there when I got 100 niggas outside with us,
all
and it's
that.
all love, and they all
So,
there to support what I got
so
going on.
I saw with my own two eyes how a person like you, they don't understand it.
Yeah,
They
it's
may think
confusing
it's
because you
confusing.
didn't really understand me
I didn't
neither
understand it.
until you went home,
We,
till you went to my city, and then once you went there, it's kind of like that. I get him now.
tell them
He's
the
not
corner so they can look it up.
50 54th and Master. Look it up. Look up 54th and Master. And,
Go on Google Maps, go to
look it
Street
up.
View, and do 360 and go look.
Then go look at where I'm from. Yeah,
Go
you'll
look
see
at
it.
that. You gonna see board ups. We was right there.
Yeah.
And this is so basically every summer or every year before summer, him growing up, this man is going back to this.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They family is a part of the community. They ain't leaving it. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
he was around this environment, and it is what it
It is
is.
what it is. And but no, that's an interesting point because, like I said, even to speak on it with you is like it really made you look at me in a different light because, for people that meet me in LA, they may think I act a certain way or I'm trying to portray something, and really, I'm really actually trying to get away from that shit. If you really know me,
Dude.
I be trying to chill.
That
You know what I'm
part.
saying? I come across a certain way because of the environment that I'm from. I'm more aggressive. That's naturally how we are. We talk a little
Yeah.
differently, but I'm just trying to chill. But people that meet me out here, they might not understand it. And then once you understand me or understand where I'm from and how I'm really playing it in my community, then it'll make you look at me, differently because, it's a lot of people that think I'm just raised in Calabasas and, you know, in that situation. And I can't say I wish I was because I'm happy with exactly how things turned out for me. But I wish I didn't have to have any struggles or my other family members didn't have to have any struggles. But I feel like all of it makes us who we are today.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the pain that I received, the highs, the lows, and everything. So I take it all, everything that comes with it, and yeah, man, I feel good, and I'm happy that I'm still able to go home to my community and get love the way that I still get love because, you know, in doing music, like, I got an album coming out, Welcome Back Gito. And when you do music and just things that you want the support from the home base, you want to feel like you got your core, and you want to lock that down. So shout out to Philly because the city has always showed me, you know, unwavering and an unlimited amount of love and support. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And I want to be able to, give it all back as well.
So now we got we got the information. So now kind of take us back. You go with your uncle and you're doing crazy things growing up, like going to the White House
Yeah.
and hanging with Nelson Mandela at
Hell
his
yeah.
home
Hell yeah.
in South Africa.
Hell yeah.
I mean, tell us the White House.
The White House story, that's all because of Big Willie too, man. Big Willie is just a legend. This was during the time that Clinton was in office, and shit, Big Willie was performing. I want to say it was Y2K, or 2000 maybe. So it's about 25 years ago, but it was
Yeah,
in 2000 or 1999,
yeah.
and then 2000 was hitting. It was supposed to be Y2K and all of that, da da da. And yeah, they invited my uncle down to perform at the White House, and our whole family went to the White House, and then to see the performance and kick it, and then a select, few of us was able to spend a night, and there was only a real select few, like maybe four of us, me, my cousin Trey, my uncle Will, my aunt Jada, honestly, and we spent the night in the White House. We slept in the same room that Abraham Lincoln, that was the Lincoln room. We slept in the same bed that Abraham Lincoln slept in, and then we woke up in the morning in that room and we saw the framed Declaration of Independence.
Oh wow.
Um, Went downstairs, ate chocolate chip pancakes with Hillary and Chelsea. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And shit, left out of there, went and played soccer on the front lawn and all of that, and it just was a dope ass experience, man. And it was so crazy because I remember that whole time I was just in the White House looking around, and it was just unbelievable to me that I saw zero security,
Zero security.
zero. Now you know it's loaded with security.
Security.
I didn't see one form of security, and that just was so like such a wow factor to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they was watching me, but I didn't see any security. I'm talking about walking through the halls in the house and
Yeah.
eating breakfast. Even on the front lawn, we didn't see security. I think up top we might have seen some snipers, but
But I heard good security is that you can't
you won't
see,
see them.
you won't see it.
No,
That's
hell
what
no.
good security
Didn't
is.
see them at all. Like
Yeah.
didn't even feel it.
So now, what's another thing that you remember that like struck you kind of odd that you saw at the White House?
At the White House, that was odd. Uh, nothing was more odd than just the fact that I didn't see any
Yeah,
security. I
security.
remember there was a time when we were walking down the hall when we first got into the White House, and I think there was a big ass dog
Oh
that was
wow.
making a lot of noise, German Shepherd or some shit like that. I think they had to kind of get it under control and put it up.
You ever meet Bill? Did you meet the
Yeah,
president?
met Bill Clinton. Oh, I can tell you something that was odd. It's not necessarily my story, but apparently the Secret Service and everybody they do a background check, of course, of everybody that's coming through, and they apparently they said that they might be searching our homes and things of that sort. And my mom and my stepfather at the time they said when they came back to the house on 54th Street, the house she was at. It said everything looked the same and everything, but just inside of the house on the step, there was like a little Secret Service pen just sitting there on the step. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure they went in the house and
Wow.
checked that shit out and did whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
they was in there. You know what I'm saying? And
Damn.
that was that was interesting.
Nah,
But
they ain't playing.
yeah, that's the White House story, man. It was just dope as hell to be able to go to the White House. Like I said, I'll never forget waking up in the morning, eating chocolate chip pancakes in the kitchen of the White House, going out to the front yard, playing soccer a little bit, super dope. Um, Also Nelson Mandela's house in Africa. Can't like
Was this house crazy?
Nelson Mandela's house was insane, but what was so crazy was that going to his house, we're in the truck and it looks like you literally ride through a lake. You know
Oh
what I'm
wow.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm assuming there was a bridge under us or something
Yeah.
like that, but you're just riding through the water. I'm talking about the water is up
Yeah.
to the window of the car, damn near. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you ride through it across to get into his house, and we slept in and these are things that like telling the stories is like they might sound weird, but my uncle wanted us to like it was a thing to be able to sleep in the same bed that Abraham Lincoln slept in. So you kind of like walk those same steps and things. So Nelson Mandela, we stayed in his private room. We were able to sleep in his person. Me and my cousin Trey, we slept in his bed. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there, but we slept in his bed. Woke up, ate there in his house, and it was just like that experience is like who can say this? It's a lot of people that like you can't say this. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
And it's really like more and more when I tell the story, it's just like wow.